Deakin University match the round live from H.E Parker Reserve. It is finals time for the senior women's competition. The Division 1 semi-final about to take place here. North Ringwood taking on Donvale. I'm Ryan Long, joined by Chris Curtis, and also straight off the bat, Jake Ireland from the North Ringwood Football Club, the senior coach. Jake, it's fantastic to have you on board for a pre-game for a massive finals clash.
Yeah, thanks guys. Really happy to be here. It's sort of been a few years, we haven't really played in a Division 1 qualifying final like this, so yeah, it's really exciting.
Certainly right, and it's a massive test for the girls today, but the two sides, looking at on paper, they seem pretty evenly matched. Had a very close game the last time you played Donvale. How have you seen your opponent and the way both sides are coming into this final series on form?
Yeah, definitely a 50-50 game. I think, full credit to Donvale last time, but I think that game obviously could have gone either way. So we sort of knew where we stood with them. We knew it was going to sort of come down to a goal in that game, and honestly, it'd probably come down to a goal today, and it might be the same in a couple of weeks' time in a grand final. So we know where we are with Donvale. It's just about just trying to get every little thing right and play our best footy.
And the club's done a ton of work this year with the reserve side as well. The senior women's program is flying, and for you to be able to lock up a double chance last week with a big win over Beaconsfield, just to confirm you would finish second, just gives you that bit of extra breathing room going into a final series with a division so tight.
Yeah, definitely. I think, we knew we were going to be spread a little bit thin this year with the two sides. There's a couple of times when they had the 30 girls available over two sides, so it was going to be tricky, and I think our mindset was just like, let's just get to finals. So to finish in a top two and have the double chance and have the opportunity to go straight through to a grand final is a massive achievement for the girls. But obviously now we got the full roster to choose from, and we're really excited about it.
And just at the start of the season, when you saw your list and you were doing all the preparation for the year ahead, did you know that this was a side and this was a list that could take you as far as you've gone to date to the double chance?
Yes and no. I think I've coached a lot of these girls previously in juniors and stuff, and you sort of don't really know how they're going to match up against a side like Donvale, who have been playing one of the highest women's leagues for a long time. So didn't really know we were going to match up, but pretty early on we're like, all right, if we can match it with Donvale like we did early on, we can probably match it against any team and we'll be right there at the end. So we worked out pretty quickly that we're going to have a pretty good year. It's just about sort of getting through to the end of the year with minimal injuries and people going away, but yeah, everything coming together nicely now.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Good to hear. And without giving too much away, where do you think this game can be won and lost today?
For us, it's just about really scoring. I know, we've played against some teams that really try and knuckle down and make it almost like a 0-0 draw, but for us, we like scoring goals. Makes it more entertaining footy, and I think if we can put a score on the board that where Donvale have to kick a certain number of goals, try and put it out of reach for them essentially. So. Hopefully we just play really positive football today and can just score freely.
And just a couple of players to touch on. Jess Begg's having a fantastic season. I think she kicked another 5 goals on the weekend. How have you seen her season and the way she's coming into the final series with a ton of form behind her? Yeah,
she's a superstar. She's one of the girls I coached in under-18s, and I said I don't really know how she was going to match up in in senior footy, but she's taken it on beautifully, and clearly one of the best players in the league. So. It's been great to have her all year.
And the skipper, Taylor Dean, in some really good form herself and coming off, I think, a best-on-ground performance last week. What's her work just on and off the field as well with the younger girls as well coming up from the 18s? How have you seen her season?
Yeah, Taylor's been great. I think, she's had a bit of a job sort of being captain of essentially both sides. But, I think early in the year she was sort of battling with her new job. She's a police officer now. But now that sort of finals and towards the end of the year, she's really sort of knuckled down, and she's playing her best footy, which is great because it's the right time of the year for that.
Absolutely. It's a big day ahead. It's a big afternoon for you, so we're going to let you go. We really appreciate your time coming on for the pre-game. All the best this afternoon and for North Ringwood.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Jake Ireland there, the senior coach of the North Ringwood senior women's side, has done a great job, Chris, with this group, and they're in some really good form coming into this final series, and it's going to be interesting to see how this game plays out.
He has, and we mentioned the big win. I think it was 111 points against Beaconsfield. There were maybe a few nerves coming through the last 2 games before that were losses, but it's good to right the ship and take the right momentum into this game.
Certainly right, and also joining us now is Stephen Latino, the Donvale senior women's senior coach. Stephen, thanks for joining us. It's a massive day. The conditions are perfect out at H.E Parker, so I'm sure yourself and the girls are really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it's a great day for footy. Just excited to be here again after last year, so we're looking to push all the way this year, and we'll start hopefully today, see how we go.
Certainly right. And last time we did see you for the match of the round, you were missing quite a few players, and looks like you've been able to get some back. Van Usewich is certainly one of them, both of them. McCormack didn't play last time. So you've been able to probably come in with a bit stronger side. Still got some players potentially to come back in, but you must be pretty happy with the lineup going into today's semi-final.
Yeah, definitely. So we've had to manage it all through the year. I think most teams have the same situation. So unfortunately, we've lost a few to season-ending injuries, and we've just had other players step in and take those positions, and it's really good. And obviously, we have a couple still out today, but it's still a strong side, in no doubt.
And you played North Ringwood not too long ago, and it was a really tight contest, and you won by just the 2 points. What did you take out of that game from a learning point of North Ringwood? Obviously, you took some learnings from round 1 where it was a pretty one-sided result, and you flipped the script. And coming into this game, on paper, it looks really tight between the two sides and the two lineups. Yeah, so we really rate North Ringwood. So as soon as we played them that first game, like everything throughout the season has been, we need to be better than that. And they were the benchmark for us until we played them in round 13, so a couple of weeks ago. And they're a really good ball movement team, and they like runners and out the back. And so everything, we look forward to playing them every time, and just to get that 2-point victory over them in round 13 just shows that how much work we did from the first game. And although it was a little bit of an off game for us, judging by the other results, we still rate this team very highly. So it's going to be a tough contest out there against them.
So in the regular season, you've gone 11 wins, 2 losses and 1 draw. Now that you're in finals, is it business as usual? Or are you looking to tweak a few things just to make sure that you can progress as far as you can?
Yeah, so we still a few tweaks to go. It's just a case of what works best against which opponent. So we've actually played, I think, the other teams 3 times and only played North Ringwood twice. So it is going to be interesting because you don't get as much as you can against the other teams. So we learnt a lot about the other teams, and then start of the year and the end of the year for these guys is kind of weird in a sense for us, because we got to learn a lot about the other teams compared to North Ringwood. But watching them play against us last time and how we pretty much even across the day, it looks like we will need to tweak a few things if you want to get a bit more separation and hopefully get qualify for the grading first.
Yeah, nice. And you got the second best defence in the league. I think you're only off first by, I think, under 10 points it is. But how important is it today to limit North Ringwood to not kicking a big score?
Yeah, 100%. It's one of the main focuses that we've gone through the week is limiting their ability to score. So watching their other games and other results, they do have some very high scoring games, and they have a lot of players that can hit the scoreboard. So it's going to be across the board that we have to defend. It's a team defence first mindset today, and hopefully we have the firepower to fire back at them. So that's what we're looking forward to.
And certainly, and obviously the double chance. Do you take a moment during the week and just think about how far you've come as a group from last year? Obviously playing in Premier Division and coming back down to Division 1. It's been an outstanding season. Do you just obviously take obviously you've got a lot of work ahead in this final series, as everyone does, but do you take a moment just to reflect on what has been a really impressive season?
Yeah, 100%. So we obviously finished last year, a very good comp. So we'll have Premier Division, I think, here later on. And I might stick around to watch it. But there were some great teams, and they taught us a lot across the board. And we just want to be in that ballpark, and hopefully when we... sorry, I dropped my thing. Just looking to get back there and get into that competitive style of footy and that talent level. And looking forward to today.
Certainly right. Stephen, we really appreciate your time. I know it's a busy day today. You've got a lot to prepare for, so we're going to let you go. We appreciate your time and all the best this afternoon for Donvale, and for your sake, hopefully I'll win.
No, thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for that.
Stephen Latino there, the senior coach of the Donvale Senior Women's Football Club, and has done just such a great job with this side. This season's been really impressive from them, and they come into this final against North Ringwood in some really good form leading up. Chris, and it's so tight between the two sides, and I was having a look during the week, and in the podcast, myself and Josh do our tips, and I went North Ringwood, he went Donvale, but it was one of those games where I think you could almost pick either side. I would be very surprised if either side gets a jump early and holds that lead. I think this is going to come down to that final quarter.
Oh yeah, definitely. you know, you look at the 2 times they've played, as we heard before, and it's the start and the end of the season. But really, that round 1 result, you look at it now, and there's really, I can't imagine a way in which that happens again. I think it was 77 points on that day, or
Bit of an aberration,
something
isn't it?
of the sort. So, you know, we got a much better preview, I think, a couple of weeks ago, just 2 points the margin. And that's really going to be something where I think both teams have to look at this, both Donvale and North Ringwood, and think, you know, there's going to be ebbs and flows in the game. You're going to have times when you've got momentum, but I think might sound a bit, you know, stating the obvious, but the team that's going to play the best over the course of 4 quarters and not just in moments, but over the full course of the game, I can see running away with this.
Yeah, certainly right. And at the moment, we've just had the final score in the Division 4 second semi-final between Ferntree Gully and Wanturna South. And Ferntree Gully have progressed through to the grand final. They defeated Wanturna South 5-8-38 to 3-20, an 18-point win for the Gully. Fantastic achievement for them. Their first season back in the competition after a year out, and they're going through to a grand final. Not it for Wanturna South just yet. They will play the winner of the Fair Park Bayswater game, which is currently taking place out at Sylvan Recreation Reserve. We'll hopefully have that result for you on the broadcast, but very exciting seeing the way all these final series games are going to play out today. Pretty impressive that Wanturna South still stuck with them for the 4 quarters, actually in front at half time. So they've got a bit to work with next week, depending on who they play in the preliminary final out here at H.E Parker Reserve, Chris. But back to this game, North Ringwood now out on the deck, and unfortunately for us, they've had some jumping changes with the clash strip on today. But we'll certainly get through it, and it's a really talented lineup, as we said. We spoke to Jake in the pre-game, and there's some players, particularly up forward, who can probably break this game open.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we spoke with the Donvale coach before, and I brought up defence and how important that was to him, just because you look at, like you said, the threats that North Ringwood have going forward, and, you know, you've got Eliza Wilson, who's got 34 goals for this season so far. He's actually leading the league in that statistic, and then Jess Begg can pop up and damage you a lot with 13 goals to go, along with 13 times in best throughout the season. So it's definitely one where, you know, we're going to see both teams throw a few punches, but I really think it's, you know, if that Donvale defence can hold their own, Donvale will come out of it. But on the other hand of that, you've got to look at it and say, you know, if North Ringwood can get the footy to players like Wilson and Begg and really get their attacking game going, then it's going to be a long, long day for Donvale.
It's one of those things where what North Ringwood have done extremely well over the last few years is just build that list from the junior club. And there's a lot of under-18 girls who have played this season in the senior lineup or the reserves lineup, and they're getting that taste of senior footy very quickly, and they've been able to adapt to it so well in such a small period of time. There's a lot of players on their list that are pretty young. They'll be running out today, and I just have that real feeling that if this isn't their year, North Ringwood, next year might be. And I just think when they get to Premier Division, and I think they will, that they've got the makings to be able to not only hold their spot in Premier, but become a real contender. And that's, you know, off the basis of what is a real strong club from the juniors to the seniors. It's so important to have that junior program.
Oh, definitely. And, you know, it's a list that you look at it, and especially when you look deeper and you go into the age profiles, it's only going to get better over the years. If they can really retain that core group of players, and, you know, the sky's the limit for them. And, you know, he said, are they going to get back into the Premier Division even if it's not this season? Well, these are games where for younger athletes and for younger players, it's just learn as much as you can. If it goes your way, if it doesn't go your way, you know, this is valuable experience. These are the games you get up for, and you know, you're taken in stride with whatever happens.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's going to be very intriguing because obviously with these semi-finals, you're not, I mean, Division 1's a bit different because Park Orchards or East Ringwood, who are playing today out at Sylvan Recreation Reserve, they're good enough to make a grand final as well. So next week will be challenging, but the likely outcomes, if you look at history, this second semi-final is usually the grand final as well. So although I mean, it's a must-win game, but even if you do lose, you're taking off, you're taking a lot of lessons from the side you're playing against, because, you know, if you're going to win it, you're going to have to meet in 2 weeks time in a grand final.
Yeah, definitely. It's certainly something to consider, but I think for today it's really just second semi-final, but first round of finals, get in, get the job done, and I think both coaches will back themselves that if their team can play the brand of footy that they want to, that they'll be good enough to get the job done, which is really what we're seeing throughout the season. I think it's only 8 points the gap between these two sides in first and second, and obviously that includes the blowout in round one. But it's going to be a great watch. It's a great day out here at H.E Parker Reserve. Sun is shining. Luckily, we've got a bit of shade in this pavilion, but it's certainly something to get excited for.
Absolutely right, and it is exciting because we've been waiting for this all season, for finals to start. The atmosphere out at H.E Parker is just outstanding. It's a great ground to have a final series at. I was here last year for the grand final day, and you had 3 senior women's grand finals, so 6 clubs, and every single club have a big following base, and it just makes for such a fantastic day. And even looking today at the moment, plenty of green and blue from the first final here with Ferntree and Wantirna South. North Ringwood always pack a crowd, and being a Sunday too, none of the senior men's games are on, so a lot of senior men's players joining us here today to support their team. We've also got Kate Green, who's on the boundary again today. Hopefully she's able to hear us down at ground level. Kate, have we got you?
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I've got you. Kate, it's great to have you on board. And how's the ground at the moment? It looks fantastic from up here. It's a perfect day. The sun's shining. It looks like all set for a great game of footy.
The ground is actually really good. It's firm, slightly damp out in the centre as to be expected, but otherwise really, really holding up well. Looking forward to seeing all the finals on here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And we're still waiting on Donvale to make their way out onto the ground. We've still got a bit of time before the first bounce. But for you, Kate, we're going to get into our tips shortly as well. But the two sides, very evenly matched, 1-1 apiece this year. Do you lean towards one side or another?
You're killing me.
I'm going to put you to the task. I want a team.
You know that Donvale is where we started footy,
Yep.
and do have a soft spot for North Ringwood. You're killing me. Okay. I'd love a draw between them. I know that means time on.
Yeah, that means we're still going to get a decider.
Oh, come on. I think based on their form and how even they are, like you said, 1 apiece, I'm slightly leaning North Ringwood, but it's not much of a lean. It's maybe, can you have half a point?
No, that's unfortunately finals a bit different, but I'm leaning towards North Ringwood myself. I tipped them in my article during the week by a point, I think.
Or 3 points, was it?
Yeah, something like that, less than a goal. 3 points. You've read my work, Kate.
Hey, I'm supposed to do my homework, aren't I?
That's right, as Donvale make their way out onto the ground as well. Great to see both sides out there ready for the first bounce in 5 minutes. Chris, your tip this afternoon between the two sides?
Yes, we could definitely make a case for either side, but I think I made a bit of a habit of when I'm on Match of the Round broadcast to go for the underdog, so I would be going North Ringwood. I think, obviously they got best attack in the league, and to go against the second best defence would definitely be a good showing, but I think if those younger players can stand up, then North Ringwood is good enough to get the job done today.
Yeah, so all 3 tips for North Ringwood, but all by pretty much less than a goal.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Josh Ward did tip Donvale, so there's still plenty of love for both sides coming into this big clash. And
well, like I said, if you would have let me, I would have gone a draw.
Yes.
But I think at the end of the day, I think will. Bottom line, it'll come down to who settles into their game and sticks to their game first.
Yeah, certainly right.
Otherwise, it's up for grabs.
And we're going to be keeping you updated with those scores around the grounds. Park Orchards play East Ringwood today out at Sylvan Recreation Reserve. The winner of that game will play the loser of this game next week right here at H.E Parker Reserve on the Saturday. And just having a look at half-time of the Women's Division 4 first semi between Fair Park and Bayswater, it was Bayswater leading by a goal, 4-2-26 to 3-3-20. That game will be finished now, so we'll certainly keep you updated on who wins that contest. A lot of stakes there because the winner will play Wantirna South next week. Also out here at H.E Parker Reserve as the two sides get ready for the first bounce today. A massive contest, 1v2. They've been the best two sides in the division. Park Orchards and East Ringwood have been very good, Chris, but this is your benchmark.
Oh, they have. They definitely have. And I tell you what, with these tips, we're either going to look like geniuses or utter fools. I don't think there's a middle ground. But yeah, like I said, this is the pinnacle of this division we've got right here. And obviously we have teams in Park Orchards and East Ringwoods. I know Park Orchards were able to knock off one of these two sides. I think it was Donvale just a bit earlier on in the season. So anyone can beat anyone. But really, if you're predicting a match to go to a setup to go to this grand final in Division 1, it is going to be these two teams.
Yeah, the stage is set out here at H.E Parker Reserve. We're just moments away from the first bounce of this contest. Right in the middle of the ground. Grace Higgins in the ruck for North Ringwood. Hartman for Donvale. And there's the first bounce. Hartman wins the tap down. And she might rove it herself. She grabs it, tries to get the handball forward. Here's Crundle, comes in, taps it towards that far side, towards the wing. They try and get this one clear, linking up. Went the don't argue, did Van Usewich. Finds some space and kicks it into some area for a play to run onto this one. Does well, but tackled right away. Big tackle by Rhodes. And that's holding the ball. Free kick, North Ringwood. Such an important play to this side, Ella Rhodes. Finds Taylor Dean. She'll send North Ringwood towards half forward. Out the back here, running onto this one. A chance for Forbes. She picks up nicely, gets past her opponent and kicks it into space. Running onto this one is Ireland. Is able to pick it up. The handball to a teammate right next to her. And towards the top of the goal square, bouncing through. And that is a spectacular finish. North Ringwood on the board with their first, 1 straight 6 to Donvale, yet to score. And from a fair way out, Chris, that's a great first goal to start with for North Ringwood.
Oh, it is, and it only just caught me off guard to see it flying and bouncing the goal square. But that's what you need in these games when you've got two such evenly set up teams. You need moments of individual brilliance to pull you over the line. So we're just about ready to restart play. North Ringwood with the first major of the day. As the ball's gone up and the rucks will do their work. Pretty even ruck contest there as the ball spills out. No clean hands on the footy. Dean was around it, couldn't pick it up cleanly, but it's going to come out through Forbes. There's a mark dropped as we're just inching closer towards North Ringwood's forward 50.
And Chris, I believe that first goal was Georgie Marston.
It was. It was tough to see from here. Like you said, it was a fair way out, but great finish.
Boundary.
Boundary to Kate Green.
You're on the money, Ryan.
Thanks, Kate.
Like always.
That's absolutely correct.
That's just the second goal for this season, Marsden. Just, what an occasion to get it in. As
Big stage.
As the ball goes back up. We're about 60 out from the North Ringwood goal. Bursting through the pack is a North Ringwood player. Off hands as the ball hits the deck. Players looking to pick it up cleanly, but no one can really do so as it's spilling out. Another pack forming around the ball. Ooh, it was a good tackle by number 12, Jess Begg, with the ball was dropped by our opponent. As North Ringwood are really bringing the pressure early on in this semi-final. And Donvale are feeling it. No one really able to get a clean take of the footy. And it's going to be a free kick in the back for Donvale. So Donvale looking to come out of their defensive 50 as the kick is sent on its way, off hand, on this near side wing. There's a couple chain of handballs go through Monica Latino. And there's a turn, looking for the kick in the middle. It was a bit of a squib kick. It's come out through the form of Jessica Reed. He's going to send it inside 50, just on the edge. 2 players under it. Didn't want it, either of them, as it's come back out towards the middle of the ground. Even numbers around the contest. Off Donvale hands. Picked up by a North Ringwood player. Bodies dropping everywhere. It's a good amount of pressure to start this final off, setting the tone. Ogilvy's around the footy. And it's picked up now and dropped again. Story this game so far is Donvale looking to wheel out on the far side ring. As the kick goes into the middle. A few taps. Still not a lot of clean footy, but now North Ringwood can go forward through Forbes, who sends it into forward 50. Got a runner. Mark was dropped, but there's a contest out on that far side wing, some 25 out from North Ringwood's goal. And that will be a ball up. I believe it was Eliza Wilson who was leading up and just couldn't take the footy cleanly. We have the ball up, far side wing, 25 out from North Ringwood's goal, looking to get their second major on the board as it spills out the back. Donvale looking to clear. That's a great tackle, and that's holding the ball. Terrific pressure from North Ringwood early on in the opening 4 to 5 minutes of this matchup. You've heard me say a lot of times, not a lot of players able to pick up the footy cleanly, and that's due a lot to the pressure from North Ringwood. As the kick is on its way, it's low, it's going to drill and drop short and out for a behind. So that takes North Ringwood to 1-1-7. Donvale still yet to score as they're waiting for the ball to be brought back in. A lot of pressure from North Ringwood so far, Ryan.
Absolutely, and one player that's really impressed me so far has been Carly Forbes. Is very quick once she finds the football. As Donvale look to take this out of defence as far as they can go. This almost a big mark there taken. Not quite though, falls out. It's still doing well there is Begg, and she might be caught for holding the ball this time. And Donvale will look to repel out of their back half once again. Van Usewich switches it to the far side, and they look to send it towards the wing in the direction there of Bradley. Picked up this time by Turner. Forward they go again, but North Ringwood got plenty of numbers. The handball wasn't great, but it still works out okay, and they link up and continuing to work there. Dean running onto this one. She picks it up now. Taylor Dean, the skipper, sends it inside 50. Van Uchowitz for Donvale, tapping it towards the boundary line, and it comes off the boot, so this will be a North Ringwood free kick. About 60 from home. In fact, it's actually going to be a ball up, Chris.
It is. So we are some 55 metres out from North Ringwood's goal this opening term of the semi-final we have here at H.E Parker Reserve, living in North Ringwood's attacking half so far. Donvale not really able to get themselves some relief and alleviate some of that pressure as the rucks go up. There's a bit of a push and shove around the footy. Van Oosterwijk's going to pick it up. That's Amelia. Of course, both sisters playing today for Donvale. As the ball goes up again, practically in the same area. 55 out from North Ringwood's goals. They're going to go backwards to go forward. Kick in was from Forbes, but it's come off hands. And tackle's going to be wrapped up. Umpire's going to ask for the ball just inside the forward 50 of North Ringwood. And the rucks go out again. Very even ruck contest we've had so far. Neither ruckman really able to get any win as they burst away from the North Ringwood player. And it's wide right for a behind. That was Jess Begg, who really showed a bit of athleticism there to get free of the pack, but was just lacking on the finish ever so slightly.
Boundary.
So we're going to go down to Kate Green on the boundary.
Donvale need to be careful of Jess Begg, because once she gets it, she's very savvy with the ball, so not good to leave her on her own.
Exactly right, Kate, and that's what we've just seen is Donvale look to bring it out of their 50, smothered kick. Dean going to see it over the boundary line, and the umpire's going to call for the ball. And there's a player down behind play, just on their haunches for Donvale, but it looks like she's okay, and she'll continue after talking to the runner very briefly. So neither team wanting to give up an inch really in this final, but it's North Ringwood who have done better so far. And that's a good tackle, knocked the ball free. Oh, and 22 intercepted it again. That was Reed, sends the kick inside 50, ball's dropped 20 metres out. Body's falling around the footy. It's a good kick, but it's just gone high, not far. And the mark's going to be taken by Grace Hartman, 8 times in best this season, who can maybe try and calm the play down. And she's going to find a target in Monica Latino, who was just down that play that we said very important for Donvale. So they'll need her, but the intercept mark is going to be taken by Marley Neal in number 31. She's going to go forward, look for the kick inside 50. It's off hands. Footy's hit the ground. Latino getting it out again. She's been good trying to repel some of the North Ringwood attacks. And there's a big block off the ball by Van Oosterwich, but it doesn't stop Walters from getting the kick inside 50. Wilson around the footy, 25 yards out. I think that might be Latino down again, who looks like she might be in a bit of strife. We've got
Boundary.
some runners down there. Kate Green, what have you got for us?
It is Latino.
She's a massive player
Oh,
for Donvale.
yeah, probably just about their best player, almost. She was dominant last time we saw him in a match of the round, and she's back on her feet, which is good. There's a ball up inside 50 here for North Ringwood. Van Ooswich was smart to get this one out of the area, and she might even be able to run onto this before it goes across the line for the boundary, and that's very nicely done. So we're not going to give the ball back to North Ringwood just yet, and they clear themselves out of danger for just a moment. We've played 9.5 minutes in the first term of this semi-final. North Ringwood 1-8. Donvale yet to score. First versus second, the winner through to a grand final, the loser into a preliminary final. So we're going to get a ball up inside 50 again. A lot of pressure from both sides, Chris, in this first quarter. North Ringwood have done most of the attacking. They link up here again. Lee puts it towards, or Walters puts it towards the top of the goal square, bouncing through for a goal. Unbelievable. And I think that was Walters. Kate, who was on the boundary, might be able to fact check me on that one, but North Ringwood either way go to 2-2-14 to Donvale. No score.
Boundary, I'll just double check that for you.
Thanks, Kate. But what a finish again, Chris. 2 goals from the same area of the ground, far way out, and they've just been able to clear the entire pack of players in the goal square.
No, exactly right. And in basketball, they call it the shooter's bounce, but North Ringwood getting some luck for that ball to find its way through. And really, you're not going to score if you don't have shots, so why not have a go? And we've seen 2 very good goals from the same kind of distance so far as the rucks are up. And there will be no meterage gain for either team. It's going to ball up in the exact same position. So North Ringwood 2-2-14. Donvale yet to score as we're halfway through the first term. Looking to break away was Begg, but she was tackled as the ball spills. And we're going to have another ball up in the middle of the ground. So Donvale, like we've said multiple times so far, really unable to get any territory. As the ball is going to get a friendly bounce for Donvale, and maybe they've got a chance here. Holding free kick, however, it's going to go the way of North Ringwood. And they've got a spare out on this near side wing if they can find her. They will. It's Emma Reddy who's going to take the mark. He can play on it. She does. Looking down the wing, Dean was around the footy, but the kick is going to go to Broadhurst. He can assess her options here and looks further forward. Great mark and play on by Begg, who's looking to take the game on. Chip kick looking for the runner, but just put it a bit too far in front of Gilvey, who was the target. But Jess Begg again, great mark, and he's able to go straight away, not giving Donvale any chance to set up. But
Boundary.
Donvale, Kate, what have you got for us?
Quickly, that was Walters.
Was Walters. Ryan Long on the money, 2 from 2, as we're going to have a free kick going the way of Donvale.
Chris, you know if he gets 3 from 3, we pay drinks for him.
Absolutely.
Do we? All right.
The rule.
Might have to hope for some shoddy camera work then, because I don't want to shout drinks. As Dean was pushed off the ball. Wow. As Donvale kicked the ball forward. They're in their forward 50 now. Good pressure from Donvale still as Redden's around the footy. Right in front of us on this pavilion side. As bursting away with the footy is Jess Crundle. Gets it to number 7 in Victoria Turner. Got it on her left boot just. There's high contact going the way of Donvale.
Now, will this be downfield as well? Or in fact, it
No.
might come back.
They've called it back to where Victoria Turner kicked it. So Taylor Dean standing the mark.
You'd almost,
Go on, Kate.
sorry, Boundary. You'd almost think they'd play advantage on that.
Yeah, you would, but they're about 45 metres out, person on the mark. And the kicks shanked off the boot a bit. It's going to be last touch. So it will be brought back in by Emma Redden of North Ringwood. As Donvale need to try and lock the ball in here. Dean's lead was ignored as Latino's worked her way forward. She's been in defence early on. And it's a good grab, heads up play by Broadhurst, who's going to look forward into the middle of the pitch. Went back with a fly to the ball, was very courageous from Begg. But it spilled out the back. Donvale bodies around the ball, holding the ball call. Great tackle by number 9 in the Gilvey, who's been around the footy a fair bit, and they've got a free player there just inside forward 50 in Kayla Terrell, who will look further inside. Donvale have numbers around the footy, sock it off the ground. Still not clear, however. There is Broadhurst again. He's had a fair bit of the footy in the last few minutes, her and Ogilvie, as it's going to be balled up about 30 metres out from North Ringwood's goal. And the ruck's going at it. It's going to look for a mongrel kick, but it's smothered. Donvale's right when picked up the ball and is going to be wrapped up. That was Sophie Kent. As we are dead in front of the goals, 40 metres out from North Ringwood. And there are bodies around the footy. Neither team really able to bring it out. So a string of stoppages here as we're just nearing the three-quarter way through this first term in the semi-final. As Donvale are going to look to bring it out. Handball went backwards so the kick could go forward. Taylor Dean's under the footy. Got hands on it, couldn't take it cleanly due to the pressure from the opponent, but will burst away Dean and look for the kick into the centre of the field. She's got it in her target in Jess Begg, who's been big so far in this quarter. Kick's gone forward, and it's a good mark taken by number 11, Georgie Marsden. I'm not going to give you that one, Ryan, if it goes in, so I don't want to shout drinks in the first quarter just yet. But Marsden, 1 goal in the season going into this match. She's already got 1 today.
Boundary. Chris, maybe we could make him shout us drinks.
I like that a lot better. It's 30
happen.
out, straight in front. Kick on its way. It's just going to drop short and will be smothered over for a behind. So tell the canteen staff to just wait a second as Donvale are going to bring the footy back in through Grace Power. So 5 scoring shots from North Ringwood to 0 from Donvale. Key plays for North Ringwood, Dean, Ogilvie and Begg looking to lock that ball in the forward half Ryan.
Well, there'll be a chance again through Forbes, who'll put it towards the top of the square. Here's Begg, did well, picked up nicely, tucked in on the boundary. Shot on goal is just to the right for a minus score. North Ringwood moved to 2-4-16. Donvale yet to score. 15, coming up to 16 minutes gone first term. But geez, they look exciting early, North Ringwood. They are on top of this contest. And Chris, probably the interesting thing is, if you look at some of their games this season, they've started off really well, and sides have slowly worked their way back in the game. So important for North Ringwood to be able to continue this going into the second term.
It's definitely right, and you know, while they've got the momentum, they also need to, you know, try and be hitting the scoreboard a bit better. We've seen Jess Begg with, as good as a player as she is, 2 shots from a similar angle that have both gone wide for a behind. So it's 2-4-16 North Ringwood. No score yet for Donvale as we're waiting for the ball to get brought back in. It's just going to look for a long kick to the edge of 50 off the hands of Begg, but sent back in through another North Ringwood player. Free Donvale player under the ball, couldn't take it cleanly in Emma Peak as the kick's going to go wide to, I believe that's Latino, who's got an extra on her left. Will use the extra number, who is Nikayla Butler in the number 11, who looks down to the wing. They've got a 2v2. Kick is just pulled too far to the boundary line. And off the last touch rule, of course, it's going to be North Ringwood. Taylor Dean bringing it back in. And the Donvale player, I think, was standing on the wrong side of the mark there, which Taylor Dean pointed out, which is a good bit of sportsmanship, but maybe could have taken advantage of, as Dean kicks it long to the full edge of the 50. Wilson, or Forbes, I should say, was looking to bring it out, but was taken down. So we're going to have a ball up, just 55 out of the North Ringwood goal again, which is where this game is being played. Off hands out of the ruck contest. And we will have another ball up as we're looking about 18 minutes gone in this first term, just about. As the rucks go up, balls into the 50. But it's going to be brought out through Donvale. Chain of handballs. Latino got the kick off despite the pressure. It's going to be intercepted by Ella Rhodes, though, who can really just look at options inside forward 50 and see if she can hit a target. Bit indecisive, but she's got the kick off. It's a high flyer, so courageous to stand under the ball there from the North Ringwood player, but Donvale are going to bring it out. And it's there through Rhodes again. He's going to look to rebound. Bit of a stutter step. Gets it to her teammate in number 21, Walters. The ball's spilled out the back of the pack. Bodies hitting the deck. One Donvale player looks to come off a bit worse for wear, but the kick's on its way. It's going to drop short about 10 metres out from the goal. Oh, that's a great chase down tackle. Great chase down tackle from the North Ringwood player. Can't quite see who it is from here, but Donvale defender just unable to have the awareness, didn't hear her come
Quite
up
possibly
from the back.
Beg.
Wilson.
Wilson?
It was Wilson. So Eliza Wilson, division-leading goal kicker, 34 this season, will look to add one to the tally and get her first for today. She walks in 25-metre angle, so 25 metres out, I should say. And the kick has made its way through. So Eliza Wilson on the scoreboard. Could have put your house on it.
Well, it's a big-time goal, and they probably actually needed that one because they have dominated this first term. 3-4-22 to Donvale, yet to score, coming up to 45 seconds left in this first term. So it's going to be a commanding lead at quarter time for the Saints, and have done a whole lot of work today
Boundary.
to get this lead as we go down the boundary, Kate Green.
Just quickly, inside 50s, 14 to North Ringwood to 1. Everything else in tackles and frees is all favouring North Ringwood at the moment.
Thanks, Kate. And I believe this is usually the scoring end of the ground, I think, from memory, coming to
Absolutely.
here quite a bit as the handball cut off here. And now a chance again for Marston. He goes inside 50. Can they get a late one? The mark was dropped, but still doing well enough there to have a shot towards goal. It's a mark by Begg. And this is going to be just before the siren.
Never underestimate Begg.
Oh, I've just forgot the oh, no, there is a sign. I thought maybe we're playing more than 20 minutes a quarter.
I was about to say, I saw the
I
timer
was
go back to 0. I was wondering when it was coming.
As Jess Begg lines up to give North Ringwood a 28-point lead at quarter time. Begg kicks truly, and the Saints are on fire at H.E Parker in the semi-final. 4-4-28 to the Magpies. No score going into quarter time. And Chris, the goal kickers, they're all North Ringwood. I think, I don't know if you've been keeping track of them. I've been throwing you on the bus, mate.
I've got you on. You call them out, I'll put them down. So, Jess Begg, obviously with that one after the siren to get North Ringwood's 4th. Other single goal kickers are Emily Walters, Eliza Wilson and Georgie Marsden, as that whole term of footy played in the North Ringwood forward half. Scoreboard reads Donvale yet to score 0-0-0 and North Ringwood opening up an early lead 4-4-28 as we go into our quarter time break.
Welcome back to Deakin University Match the Round. Semi-final out here at H.E Parker Reserve. Donvale taking on North Ringwood at a massive first quarter for North Ringwood, 4-4-28 to Donvale. No score. We'll be keeping you updated with those scores around the grounds. As we said earlier this morning, Ferntree Gully defeated Wanturna South 5-8-38 to 3-2-20. And also in the semi-final out of Sylvan, Bayswater were big winners over Fair Park, making it a preliminary final. We're back here, and straight out of the middle they go again. North Ringwood inside 50, bouncing ball. Doing well there was Brown for the Magpies.
Boundary.
As we go down to boundary, Kate Green.
I just have assistant coach Luke Higgins with me. Luke, positive quarter. Not getting ahead of yourselves. Jake's message was that. What else can you tell us about what the girls are going to be focusing on for quarter two?
Awesome quarter. What our focus is we've had a lot of good starts and we give it up within 5-minute bursts. So now it's just about pushing harder, win the ball. Donvale are a good tough side, so we just need them to. We need to win our ball and shut them down. But yeah, awesome start.
Thanks very much. All the best, Luke.
And they're a big chance here, but holding the ball, free kick going the way of the Magpies, right in the back pocket. An important one for them. They'll look to try and clear this one out. A bit of a dangerous kick. It's almost cut off. It works all right. Van Uchwich, who's probably been their best player of the game so far, kicks it out, but it's falls into the hands of Emma Redden. For the Saints, wearing the number 1 today. Looks ugly. Got the handball off. Running past. The kick towards the top of square. Reed. Cut off by Latino for the Magpies and just launches it out of defence.
How is that for a talk?
And a free kick is going the way of North Ringwood. I believe that's against McCormack. So right here, centre wing.
That was a great kick.
It was a huge kick.
Beautiful
just to
spiral.
Clear it out. And instead, it's a free kick though for Rhodes, who switches it towards the far side. Main
Boundary.
as we go down to the boundary, Kate Green.
Just have Stephen Latino here. Stephen, not quite the start you expected, but what's the message for the girls going forward?
Yeah, no, it wasn't the start at all that we wanted. And we're going to have to climb our way back into this one. It's going to be a tough day all day to try and get back into this one. They're a good team and they're going to keep running, so we're going to get on top of that early. So hopefully we can get on top this quarter.
All the best.
So the ball was spilled out to the far side wing. It was Carly Falls applying the pressure. And as a result, North Ringwood are going to be able to rebound. It was a great tackle, but just got boot to ball. So play will continue. Here's Amelia Van Oostewich, who's going to go through the middle to her teammate. Smothered kick, but it's gone straight to Tess Power, who's dropped the one defender. Got it, and there's a player all out the back for Donvale by themselves. Terrific defensive work from North Ringwood. 1v1 contest that she came up big, but the ball's still in contention. It's going to be cleared out of the 50. Terrific defending. Donvale looked on for a second there, but here's Amelia Van Oostewich. Gets it back to Tess Power. Shrugs another tackle. That looks slightly high, but the umpire says nothing doing as they're going to burst inside 50. Kick was a bit shanked. Latino's got it up there from defence. She's put the ball in the air. Good mark from number 34, Tegan Bradley. So finally, Donvale with a bit of territory. And a lot of that was credit to Tess Power. And of course, both Amelia and Mia Van Oostewich through the middle. As Amelia's leading up now in the middle, but she will be temporarily ignored. For Tegan Bradley, about 5 metres in from the boundary line. About 35-40 out. Kick looked decent, but it strayed right from behind. So Donvale finally on the board with their first score of the day, just the behind. So like we said, a good bit of run from Donvale we saw through the middle, which you haven't seen yet. Both Van Oostewich sisters and Tess Power was there as well.
Well, the big question now is, can they lock it in their forward half like North Ringwood did in the first term? This might be the scoring end of the ground. To your right side of your screen down the hill, as this ball tries to be cleared out of defence, and instead we'll get our ball up on that far side. Thanks for joining us on Facebook and YouTube for today's semi-final. Let us know if you're listening in the comment section and where you're listening in from. As Donvale look to link up, trying to get their first goal of the game. There's been a free kick paid, and it's going to the Magpies. And it was the non-officiating umpire that actually called the free kick there. So still going to be a fair way out. This could be Bradley again. But if it is, you would rely on her, and that's a great looking kick. It's just to the right, so it's a minor score. But Donvale starting this quarter off a lot better. 2 behind, North Ringwood 4-4-28. We've played 4, coming up to 5 minutes into this second term, Chris.
So North Ringwood will look to bring it back into play. It's a temporary stoppage, but we're back underway now. So 5 minutes gone on the clock in this second term. North Ringwood leading by 26. And there's a free kick going Donvale as well. It might have been a mark. Just missed that temporarily. It was Nicola Butler who looked for a target inside 50, but Ella Rhodes cut it off well, taking the intercept mark. So in the back pocket, bit of a stutter step. There's a pack forming just on this near side wing. Tess Power's going to be under the footing, take a strong mark. As she jogs back. The call is inboard Tess, if you heard that on the effects mic. She does just that. Hits the pack, giving her teammates a chance. It's going to be smothered over the line. So again, like you heard from media manager Ryan Long, we've got a scoring end here at H.E Parker. And it is definitely to your right of screen. Donvale still yet to kick a major though. So they've had their chance early on. And they need to try and capitalise now as it spills out towards the wing. Picked up and cleared by North Ringwood. Tess Power, hands on the footy. Went and got it again. Almost dribbled it off the ground like a basketball. But the kick's gone towards Latinos. Done well to get it. Snapped it on the right boot. And that would have been some goal. Yeah. But it is from behind. So Latino's work rate so far for Donvale has come up big. Started in defence in the first term. Was down there a bit throughout this second quarter as well. But has now worked her way forward. And you know, if you can get more moments like that, then they'll be having a much better time going forward as we're waiting for the footy to get back over the fence.
I think we need more people behind the goals there just to be able to save some time, because there is a bit of a hill behind the goals, Chris.
It's one of the things you've got to love about local sport.
Yep.
But we have the ball. Well, we don't have the ball. The North Ringwood backman has the ball and is looking to take the kick in. We'll play on and look to the far side wing. Good kick. We'll make it to the edge of the 50. Under the ball was Butler, but couldn't take a clean mark as it spills out to Latino. Taps it and backs herself to go. Great body work from the North Ringwood defender. Couldn't quite see who it is as it is on that far side wing. But now Rhodes has the footy. Kicks it forward. North Ringwood player's going to get to it first. Handball to her left. And it's a kick through the middle now. A bit of space to go. Number 28's there. Wendy has to do a big job. But North Ringwood are going to win the ball. And it's going to come back in through, I think, is Jess Begg. But the kick's been smothered. Begg back around the footy. Pack forming. There was a lot of space. Oh, but it's come out. Umpires have let it play. And how burst of Amelia Van Oostewich. He's going to look forward. Numbers around the footy have Donvale. Couldn't take the mark was Butler. They had a 3v1 if she could. Van Oostewich head over the footy. Great play. Looks to bring it out. Well tackled, but she's got a handball off. Tess Power looking for a teammate. There's Latino. Who's going to handball it all alone in the square. Donvale have their first major of the day. 8 minutes in to the second term.
That was Jess Crundle in the goal square. They got out the back, and a great finish for them, and well deserved after 5 minutes of really solid football from the Magpies. 139 to 4-4-28 North Ringwood. And it's an important moment in this game, Chris, because if North Ringwood had have gone the other way and kicked one back and put themselves 5 goals up, you'd almost just say that it'd be too difficult of a comeback to make, but it's very important game, important goal for the context of this game.
Had a lot of spare numbers in their forward 50 as they went, so this game definitely opening up.
Certainly right.
The ball goes up.
So here we go.
It's going to spill out the back. Ryan, take us away.
So the Magpies looking to clear forward again. It's going to be cut off by Rhodes. She'll end up with the footy here. Got a bit of pace on her. Kicks it towards Begg in the middle of the ground, who's by herself. Takes the mark and has a think before she runs off and gets past her opponent and puts it onto a one-on-one contest. Couldn't quite take the mark there. Bouncing forward. They've got all the numbers. Went the don't argue. Did she get rid of the ball? She, according not to the umpire and Tegan Bradley, great pressure.
It's the first ever time I've seen a don't argue and a spin move attempted at the same time. That was amazing.
It was impressive as the kick clears out over the back. This might work out all right for McCormack, who picks it up. Has Van Oostewich to work with, who's been outstanding so far. Puts on the Jets. Her kick was smothered. Great pressure from North Ringwood. And well done there by Merley and Rhodes to be able to stop that ball from going forward. What a game we've got here. Semi-final action for the Deakin University match of the round. Donvale 139, North Ringwood 4-4-28. 10 minutes gone, second term. Big day out here at H.E Parker. 2 Premier Division finals to follow this. Van Uchuit gets a handball off from McCormack towards half forward. No one takes the mark. Crundle's there, got the handball off to Latino, who's held without it, and she'll earn herself a free kick. Probably on the arc of the 50 here. Might be just too far out to score. If there's someone I'd want taking this kick, it would be her. She's got Bradley to work with, looking for the hands off. Plays on. Now she's trapped on the boundary line. Got off to Bradley. This would be an unbelievable finish if she puts this through. It's a minor score to the right.
Tell you what, someone below us thought that went in.
Yeah, I was getting excited there. 139 Donvale, North Ringwood 4-5-29. 10.5 minutes gone, second term. That would have been your goal of the day, Chris.
Oh, it would have been very, very nice. But what's almost even better is you've got the footy back in a timely fashion from back over the fence.
Very good.
And the kick in is going to go to Ella Rhodes. Still just within North Ringwood's defensive 50, but have numbers in the middle. She's going to hit up a target in Emily Walters, who can go one further and find her teammate in the number 31, Marley Neal. So North Ringwood just chaining together a few marks, but that kick is going to dribble off the ground, kind bounce. It was great work by Redden to get hands on the footy, but it is a contest nearing the pavilion side wing. And Korzov in the back, but the umpire's going to ask for the ball to throw it up. Was Tess Power there, body on the line for Donvale. As we have a ball up, Rucks will go at it. Donvale win the tap straight to Amelia Van Oosterwijk, who's going to get it out the back, but only as far as the North Ringwood player. Still yet to take clean possession. Van Oosterwijk back around the footy. She's been massive for Donvale so far, easily the best player on their team. Making a good case for best player on the ground so far. As the Rucks will go at it again. No direct opponent on Van Oosterwijk. She's going to pick up the footy. She'll be tackled. She got the handball off though. But now it's North Ringwood with hands on the footy. That was Marley Neely got taken down. Bodies dropping everywhere. There was one North Ringwood player that was just trying to stand up and not get knocked over by everyone. Which might be a smart move at this point in the game. But ball goes up. Bit in the push and shove. In the contest. Van Oosterwijk. That was Amelia with the kick, shielded by her sister Mia. And Latino just took to burst out of the pack and rip that ball through, but the umpire called for a throw-in. So the Van Oosterwijk sisters growing into this game as time goes on. Ball up some 60 metres out from Donvale's goal. Latino will get hands on the footy, wrapped up and not going anywhere. Tackled by Jessica Reed. So a few stoppages in a row now, as we're still in the same position on the field. Some 60 metres out, I should say, from Donvale's goal. As the ball spills out towards North Ringwood's forwards 50. It's going to be rebounded by Tess Power to Latino. Bit of a step, great agility work there. Kicks only as far as the North Ringwood defender though, who will look to get it as far out of 50 as she can. But it's only going to go as far as Bradley. Ball still spilled out, 60 metres out. Now it's through the middle. North Ringwood up plays around the ball. Donvale are coming in swarms though. Marley Newell can't pick it up cleanly. Calls of a throw. Umpire said she got the tap off. It's going to be picked up by number 15, Jess Crundle. Sent inside forward 50. Great heads up play for awareness. Nikayla Butler there knew where the space was, read the drop of the ball and took the mark. So she's just about dead in front. 40 metres out.
Oh.
Good distance on the kick. But it will fall short. Pack mark taken by Latino, who had 3 defenders on her, and said, I've got the better of all of you. We'll play on. Handball to Mila Van Oosterwijk. And there's the second of the day for Donvale. North Ringwood defenders went to sleep, both on the mark and on the play on. But they've got the goal. Kate Green on the boundary. What have you got for us?
North Ringwood player coming off injured.
Do we know who it is, Kate, or can we not see yet?
Can't see the good jet.
That's okay. We'll keep an update as she makes her way off the field. But 2-3-15 Donvale, North Ringwood 4-5-29, and well called, Chris, because that was a fantastic play from the Magpies. As we look to just see.
I see a number 2, and
No,
I'm hoping the first number
it's
is
Murley, Olivia Murley, 72.
72. Okay.
Oh,
She was really on fire in first quarter, so that's a bit of a worry.
Been very impressive so far. Back in the middle we go. Donvale now with the momentum of this quarter. They've kicked the only 2 goals. Van Uchuich, the last one, who has been just phenomenal in the first half so far. So what can North Ringwood do to just stem the flow a bit, get one back their own way? Or can Donvale really tighten things up going into the half-time break? It's a throw and a free kick here to North Ringwood in the middle of the ground. So their chance to just stem the tide back in their favour. Inside 50 that goes, no mark taken by anyone. Bradley's there, controlled it nicely and looks to clear it out. Looking for McCormack. Ball bounces in favour of Crundle instead for the Magpies. Picked it up nicely. Her kick could be cut off here by North Ringwood. Getting onto this first. Reed versus Van Usewich. Picking up nicely the handball. Just out of defence. Still under the pump here. Trying to escape the back half. Rhodes goes back. Under a bit of pressure here. Latino comes in for the tackle. And the umpire says, give it to me. Coming up to the 16-minute mark of this second quarter. 4-5 to 2-3.
Gee, the ball got fizzed in at the umpire.
Did it?
Yeah,
I was looking at the scoreboard then. There's the ball up inside 50 for the Magpies. Kent got the tap down. North Ringwood desperately trying to clear. They don't want to give away another one before half-time. Ball back into defence. Pushed aside was Begg. And here's Latino who can take a mark. It's play on. And she's going to be caught for holding the ball here, I think.
Was it called touch?
Maybe not. It must have been touched because
Yep.
it certainly looked like it was 15, Chris.
Righto. As we are just in front of Donvale's goal, some 25 metres out. Straight angle, Latino is going to be tackled. So as we get further and further on in this second quarter, it's almost like the teams didn't switch ends. If you put both of them in the same jumper, you'd think that was the case because the game has been completely flipped on its head. First term, it was all North Ringwood. And now Donvale have locked it in their half. Tess Powers kick towards goal is going to be intercepted by Ella Rhodes, who's done well in that defence despite all the pressure from Donvale. Margin stands at 14. North Ringwood yet to get on the board in this second term. We heard from their coach both pre-game and at the quarter-time break, speaking with Kate Green, saying that they've been known to get out to early leads, but they've really got to keep it going. So they're just looking to weather the storm at the moment. As again, the ball is locked to the right side of your screen as the kick's going to make its way to the boundary. And it's going to go Donvale's way to bring it back in as we see Captain Taylor Dean making her way back off the interchange bench. She was on there for a while, actually. She's back out there now as we have just under 3 minutes left to go in this half. Great kick. Going to go out the back of the pack. Latino got hands on it. Bit of crashing and bashing around the footy. Bodies flying everywhere. It's going to be a ball up. 10 metres out from Donvale's goal. So this would go a long way if they could get another goal. Maybe even 2 in this game. Or in this quarter, I should say. As it's spewed out the back of the pack. Ball's on the ground. Look to soccer it in. Couldn't quite get a clean connection. Ball's been dropped out of the tackle. Van Usewich is around it. And it will be another throw-in 10 metres out, but this time on the other side of the goal square. So still a lot to play for in this quarter. North Ringwood looking to go in with a 2-goal lead. Latino is going to be brought down. Donvale, of course, looking to cut that lead down and get reward for their effort, for their dominance in this term. As I think it was Latino in the right that got the tap. Rhodes bursts away. She's been great this term in defence for North Ringwood. Gets the kick to the edge of 50. We need to see if North Ringwood, there's a call there. It's going to be
a ball up.
I was going to say, we need to see if North Ringwood can maybe get one back in this quarter. It will be an absolute sucker punch to Donvale, who have held them, I believe, scoreless, or not scoreless, but just to 1 behind so far in this game.
Yeah, in this quarter, yeah, correct.
In this quarter, I should say, yeah.
It's been one of those games where I think if Donvale get one back and get within 8 points, they'll be pretty happy at half-time. But if North Ringwood can hold them just the 2 goals this quarter, I think they'll still go in pretty confident in the second half.
Definitely
so
right.
An important minute to play here. Doesn't look like North Ringwood will score. All the plays in the forward half of the Magpies.
So it is just a behind for North Ringwood this quarter, just to clarify.
Correct. So they're looking just to lock this down, but North Ringwood are going to clear this forward. They just haven't got anything ahead with no numbers there. Donvale are going to run onto this first with 40 seconds to go. Under a bit of pressure though. Does nicely there, did Power. Towards the boundary line, trying to keep this one in Broadhurst. We're going to get a ball up. Less than 30 seconds to go in this second term. North Ringwood pinched a goal just before the quarter time siren. Kate Green on the boundary.
Ironically, this quarter, Donvale's equal in tackles and inside 50s to North Ringwood's first quarter.
Thanks, Kate. It's been very similar. Just the other way round, and with 10 seconds left, we're not going to get another score here unless something bizarre happens. So North Ringwood are going to go into halftime with a 14-point lead. There's your siren for halftime. Stick with us out here at H.E Parker Reserve because we've got a contest on our hands for the second semi-final in Division 1. North Ringwood leading 4-5-29 to the Magpies, 2-3-15. Chris with the goal kickers.
So 2 for Donvale in that term, Amelia Van Oosterwich with 1 and Jess Crundle for the other. And of course, the outstanding single goal kickers from North Ringwood. I say outstanding in the fact that they kicked in the first term. No goals for North Ringwood in that quarter there. But as we said, single goal kickers for North Ringwood stand as Jess Begg, Emily Walters, Eliza Wilson and Georgie Marsden.
So a big second half to come. Premier Division clashes ahead after this at H.E Parker. So if you're in the area, make sure to get down. But out here at H.E Parker for the second semi-final Division 1, it is North Ringwood 4-5-25-29 to 2-3-15 Donvale. Welcome back to H.E Parker Reserve for the Division 1 second semi-final between Donvale and North Ringwood. And at half-time here, North Ringwood lead 4-4-28 to the Magpies 2-4-16. Yes, that is your drink,
Oh,
Chris.
thank
Sorry,
you. How nice. You get a can of Coke included.
So a big day ahead. We've got the two Premier Division finals after this. They won't be streamed, but make sure to come down because the weather is absolutely spectacular out here. So a perfect day for football.
Great atmosphere too. You know, it's great to see all the fans coming out. It's hard to see some of them from where we are because they're directly below us, but definitely a good showing. It's a great day for footy, like you said, and really a testament to not only both sides but also the league we have running here and how strong our women's comps are at the FNL.
Oh, we've got, yes, yeah, you're absolutely right. We do have a very strong women's competition, and these two sides are two very strong senior women programs, both in Division 1, looking to make it to Premier Division. North Ringwood for the first time. Donvale were there last year. Still got a lot to do ahead, not just today, but potential for one side a prelim. For other side, they'll book their spot until grand final this afternoon as we go down to the boundary. Kate Green.
Just grabbing Stephen, that was a really positive quarter for the team, and you must be really happy with that. What's the message going into what they usually call the Premier quarter?
Yeah, so we got back into it. We restricted their run a bit more. Like I said, they're a great running team, and we just got to stop the flow and make it a little bit of a contest at ball level, at ground level. So this quarter, we're looking to restrict their ball movement a bit more and try and get a score on the board and hopefully come home with a wet sail.
Thanks very much, Stephen. Again, all the best.
Thanks, Kate. And as you're right, they did start to restrict their ball movement a little bit. Got certainly players like girls like Forbes, Begg, Broadhurst. They were so strong in that first quarter, just finding plenty of space. So they did limit that a little bit, and they were able to get a couple of goals their own way. But they certainly have to continue that into this third term and hit the scoreboard themselves. They don't want to be going into a final quarter needing 4 or 5 goals to win. Currently, it's just 2 goals the margin as we get ready for the first bounce of the third term. Chris Curtis to take us underway.
So the ball is up and we are underway in this second half of our second semi-final, and immediately it's North Ringwood sending it forward through Carly Forbes, and the ball spilled out the back of the pack. I believe it's on there for Donvale. The ball's going to be sent over the boundary line. Kate, what have you got for us?
I've just got Luke Higgins with us. Luke, bit of a tough quarter. Your running game was kind of shut down a little. What are you going to be doing going forward into the third quarter?
Well, we've just said to the girls, don't get sucked into their style of play. They like it contested, so just be brave and stick with our structure. And yeah, 100% that. Just run all day. That's what's going to win it.
So an 80-minute game.
100%. Yeah, we've got the bench, so yeah, use the legs.
Thanks very much, Luke. All the best.
It's going to be holding the ball on the pavilion stand side, as I believe that's Ella Rhodes who's won the free kick, and we'll look into the middle, find a target in number 9's Gemma Ogilvie. Had a good first quarter, but not a lot of supply for up forward, and that's a square ball that almost looked dangerous if Donvale could intercept. But Mackenzie Lee has done well to stand up and take the mark there as she looks inside forward 50. And there are bodies around the ball. It's going to come out through Nikayla Butler, who had a good second quarter there. But return to sender is going straight back to Mackenzie Lee, who will look inside and find a teammate who will now look to go inside the forward 50 and take distance with the kick. It's out the back of the pack, picked up by, I think it was Latino, who's down back once more for Donvale. So she's really been a Swiss Army knife so far in this game for them. As it'll be Nikayla Butler again. Handballs off to a teammate who looks long down the wing. Contest around the footy. Involved is Tilly Broadhurst, who's going to burst away from her marker. Send the kick forward. It's off hands, out the back. Handball goes into the middle. Good chain of handballs here from North Ringwood. Maybe they were just one short of getting a shot on goal, as Donvale will look to bring it back out. It's going to be North Ringwood that will pick it up. Bit of a step there from 23 and Grace Higgins. It was a great piece of work, I should say. Snap towards goal. It's only going to go as far as Latino. He's going to take the intercept mark and has numbers out on the left, but he's going to go out to the right. So the far side, I should say, has gone to the edge of 50, play on the call. I don't think the players know what to play on. Only one North Ringwood player realised. And that's holding the ball, so maybe touched in the marking contest was the call. No player really knew about it, apart from the one North Ringwood player that now sends the ball in off the free kick. So it's going to be Amelia Van Oostewich sending the ball outside of defensive 50. Michaela Butler around the footy again. She's been everywhere so far in this term. And it is going to be a ball up. So we are far wing, about 60 out from the North Ringwood goal as they both burst forward, I should say, and close that distance, but the kick is going to dribble its way out. And of course, off the last touch, we're going to be brought back in by number 27 for Donvale, Emma Peak, who is going to go back to this far side. Kick makes it just outside the defensive 50. And there's bodies around the foot. It's going to be wrapped up, and yes, the umpire will ask for it for a ball up. So a few stoppages in a row here to open this third quarter. Margin still remains at 12. That's Donvale 2-4-16, trailing North Ringwood 4-4-28. And the teams kicking to the left of screen have only got one behind in a half a footy combined. So definitely the scoring end is the right side of screen, as you heard media manager Ryan Long mention before, as there's a North Ringwood player down after that contest who looks to be in a bit of strife. Might have to stop play. She's directly where
like
the stoppage was. Can't quite see who it is from here, but hit the deck after the tackle and maybe landed a bit awkwardly. So we'll try and
back
find
up
out
on her
who that
feet
is.
at the moment, so that's a good sign, and we'll just see if she does come off the field.
Perhaps she's just a bit winded.
Well, it looks like she's going to stay on, and she's actually taking the rock contest as well. The ball comes out, and they're inside 50 again. North Ringwood's a 1-on-2. Latino in front position for Donvale. Keeps it in front of her, doing well, but tackled straight away. And we'll get a ball up inside 50, and that was a great tackle. Well done there by Wilson. Has won today. 4 goals for North Ringwood, 2-4 for Donvale. Ball comes out. Broadhurst is there. She's tackled right away, and this ball's not going anywhere, not coming out. We'll get another ball up inside 50 for the Saints. Kicked 4 goals in that first quarter. If you've just joined us, the winner of this game will go through to the grand final. Loser will play the winner of Park Orchards and East Ringwood later today out at Sylvan Recreation Reserve.
Boundary.
Let's go down the boundary, Kate Green.
Number 23, Grace Higgins, is coming off. She is the one that was down that we're a little concerned about. She's being checked now.
Thanks, Kate. As the ball comes out, Dean got the smart handball forward. Broadhurst towards the top of the goal square. Again, there's Latino. So just holding her ground nicely. The kick could be cut off by Broadhurst once again. Tapped it out. Donvale with plenty of numbers around the footy. They able to link up, just trying to escape their back half. Standing underneath this is Dean. Takes a strong mark and can send the Saints forward again. And right to the top of the goal square if they can. Bouncing footy. Crundle got the handball for the Magpies. And they look to escape Van Oostewich. And she might be able to clear it over the top. Saints with all the numbers again. Big ball to be won here. Tapping it forward, doing very nicely there. Was Redden, got the handball off to Rhodes. Rhodes goes backwards. The kick is a bouncing one. It's a dangerous one here because if Donvale can turn it over, they're on. The handball forward for the Saints though. Crundle picks it up nicely and runs through a pack of players and kicks it forward. Rhodes standing underneath this for the Saints. Dropped mark, but she is able to take the game on and continue forward. That kick falls into the hands of Peak for the Magpies at centre half back.
So Donvale looking to bring it out. Gee, kick was just off the wrong side of the boot, went straight to a North Ringwood player in number 34, round in green, which is pursued by Amelia Van Oostewich, who just like the rest of the game has been everywhere early on. We're going to have a ball up 60 metres out from North Ringwood's goal. She just grabbed it out of the ruck, was Marley Neal. But the kick will only go as far as Emma Peak. So good intercept mark there from Peak. He's been around the footy more as the game has continued. And now on the ground, got a handball off as a Donvale player. Gee, bit of a high tackle on Neil. That was the call. There's a bit of confusion about who the free kick's going to, but they figure it out at the end, so it's Marley Neal. Going to look inside. Kick will drop short, though, just past Nikayla Butler. And there's Mia Van Ooster, which gets a handball off. Good work in the pack. It's going to come out for North Ringwood. Great tackle by Mia Van Oosterwich there. She will be rewarded with the free kick. She'll look out to the pavilion side stand. Looks for her sister. Pavilion side wing, I should say. And Amelia Van Oosterwich bursts out the pack with a footy. Great work. Good block put on by a teammate as well. And the mark there was taken by 19 from North Ringwood, Sarah Hum. Who will look out to the far side. Kicks to a 2v1. Asks a lot of her teammate, who hasn't done badly here. Help is on its way for North Ringwood. It's been socketed off the ground in the direction of Donvale's goal. Ella Rhodes, brilliant out the back and bursts through the pack. Looks inside, finds a target in Kayla Terrell, who can go again. A lot of North Ringwood players calling for it in the inside 50. As it makes its way there, and it's a great intercept mark. Can't quite see who that is from here, but stood up in the pack and got the job done. As now Donvale get out of their defensive 50. Maybe biting off a bit more than she could chew with Sarah Hum. But the ball made its way out, and a free kick will be going the way of Donvale. It's going to be kicked to a contest here, 2v3. Dean smothers it down for number 25, Carly Forbes. Kick intercepted though by Donvale. So Donvale holding up well so far in this corner. We're just under 10 minutes gone. And they've been doing well to repel the attacks of North Ringwood. So now the kick will make it towards the halfway point of the pitch. Great pack mark there by Nikayla Butler, who's been in and around the footy all the time in this third quarter, it seems. Kick couldn't replicate her effort, though, as towards Tess Power. Amelia Van Oosterwich's kick is forward, but it's going to be intercepted by the free North Ringwood defender in Erin Jelinek. It will send her forward. North Ringwood player under the footy, copped a shot to the shoulder. Seems like she'll be okay though, as the kick goes towards North Ringwood's goal. Donvale have numbers under the footy. It's going to be brought out towards the pavilion wing. Good mark there taken by Tegan Bradley, who's just going to calm it down now.
It's an opportunity for him.
And they'll go out to Amelia Van Oosterwich just in front of us on the pavilion side wing. He's going to look back into the middle of the field. Bodies under the ball. Got good hands, so it was a Donvale player. Pressure from North Ringwood made the ball spill out though. There's hand to ball. Not quick enough though, so it's holding the ball. Going the way of, I think that's Tegan Bradley again. Yep. So looking to get maybe our first major to the left of screen for today, as Donvale will get it as far inside 50 as they can. Pack forming under the ball. It's a 4v1, I think it was, in favour of North Ringwood. Great smother there by Mia Van Oosterwich. It'll come out. Ella Rose looking to step. Gets the kick into the middle. It's offhand. Van Oosterwich is around the footy. Ball didn't quite sit up for her though. It's come out through Rhiannon Green. But Donvale with 3v1 around the footy. Looking to get a rebound 50 going. Can't quite pick the ball out cleanly. Jess Beggs around there. And she'll get the footy and burst away in Jess Begg fashion. Steps one, but bit off more than she could chew. Absolutely outstanding tackle from Jess Crundle there. Kate Green on the boundary.
You might have noticed that the Donvale crowd has gotten a bit bigger. It's because the senior boys are down here supporting the girls.
That is absolutely great to hear and great to see from Donvale. Great representation from all aspects of their club. As it kicks inside 50, great tackle, and that's holding the ball. Maybe slightly tough to not give the handball, but it's going to be, it's hit the umpire. We might have to stop play here. Gee, that's unfortunate. So if you're listening in, it was a great tackle to get a hold in the ball, free kick for Nikayla Butler. But as the umpire went in to dictate where the mark was.
I'm not sure what happens because she did play on. So does she end up with the footy here, or is this a ball up?
I'm not sure.
Great to see both representative trainers from Donvale and North Ringwood going to check on the umpire.
Yep. So Butler went to play on.
umpires coming off.
The kick hit the umpire that was coming in.
So it will be a ball up, having a look.
Be on the mark. So it will be a ball up. Our best wishes to that umpire is in the hands of the medics here and the physios, whatever you want to call them. Great staff down here helping out. So we hope she's okay, but there is a ball up. Very unfortunate, unlikely event, but play will go on nevertheless.
Actually, I was incorrect. It was actually the both North Ringwood trainers that went to the aid of that umpire.
Yep. So everyone's stopping to make sure that that umpire was okay. But the ball will be balled up 40 metres out from the Saints goal. There's got to be another ball up.
Yep. Well, this is a big moment in this game right now. No goals kicked to this left side of the screen, Chris, and Donvale suddenly a big chance. The tap down from Kent going nowhere, so we're going to get another ball up. The pressure is certainly lifted. You can hear the crowd below us, particularly that Donvale faithful has certainly lifted their voices since quarter time as North Ringwood look to escape out of their back half. Again, Donvale have got plenty of numbers. Power's there. Trying to get a hold on this is Ben Usowich. In fact, test power. And we're going to get a ball up right in front of us. Broadcast side, 4-4-28 North Ringwood, 2-4-16 Donvale. No score in this third quarter. We played 14 minutes. Begg almost being held. Trying to get a kick away. It's cut off by Butler. Butler got the handball forward. North Ringwood with plenty of numbers. Out they go, trying to clear this one towards the wing. Donvale's pressure has lifted.
Boundary.
As we go down to the boundary, Kate Green.
Equal tackles. And number 23, Higgins, is back on the field.
Great to hear as Crundle gets a kick forward for the Magpies towards half forward. Cut off here by Walters. Walters clearing kick. Hits up a target. And they just relieve the pressure. Pongo towards the wing. Another mark. And Terrell now. North Ringwood. And that kick is going to be out of bounds on the full, so Donvale will take it. Looks like Jess Crundle to take the kick in. 15 minutes gone, third term. 2-4 to 4-4. Semi-final, spot on the grand final on the line. The kick down the line. Butler, handball towards the boundary line, and it comes out again right in front of the North Ringwood coaching box. And Chris, if there's no goals kicked in this third quarter and it's a 2-goal margin at three-quarter time, I think Donvale would be very happy with that.
Boundary.
Most definitely. Kate Green on the boundary.
We have a substitute umpire coming in for the one that was injured.
All right.
Thanks,
So
Kate.
like we said, best wishes to the
Free kick
umpire.
here.
Hope that she's okay, but it will be a North Ringwood free kick. It's going to be Jess Beck who will wheel off to the left. Kick was maybe a bit further to the right of her target than she would have liked, so the ball spilled out. It's going to be sent back in by Marsden, though. The footy's come off hands inside the Saints forward 50. It's just the people's feet. No one wants to pick it up. Holding free kick, going to go the way of North Ringwood, though. And I believe it's going to be Ebony Island who will have this shot on goal. If she does elect to shoot, she's looking to pass early on. And will hit up a target in number 17, Asha Pongo.
We've seen her play both the reserve side and the senior side this year.
So dead in front, 30 metres out. Kick will drop short and wide. And that's going to be a good heads-up play from Donvale to just let it run. And now assume kicking responsibilities off the last touch rule. So I believe that's Latino down there who was in defence in the first quarter, attack in the second quarter, and now back in defence for the third quarter. So ball on the edge of the 50 as it's working its way inch by inch closer to the Saints goal. No clean taker of the footy yet.
And she was so key in that first 10 minutes when North Ringwood really pushing in this quarter.
Yep.
Probably saved a goal or two.
Yep. So she's been a big player so far, as she has been for the season. So it's spilled out. The kick on the right foot. It's going to drop in the goal square off hands. Can anyone get a quick kick in? Umpire's going to ask for the ball. So it's going to be balled up about 3 metres out from North Ringwood's goal. In the goal square, so directly in front. Just about anything could happen here. As the ball goes up, rucks do their work. It's tapped down. It's going to be another stoppage. So we're locked in there. Like we said before, Ryan, Donvale will be wanting to come out of this without conceding a goal to the scoring end right of screen, as they're 2.5 minutes away from it. But the ball again locked in the North Ringwood forward 50 for now, as we're a bit further out, some 20 metres out, ball up, and it's popped out the back, caught the tackle by the jersey, and that's Guernsey, I should say, and that's going to be holding the ball. So good determination to hold on to the tackle and stay true to winning that duel and winning that battle. So Donvale will be bringing it back in. I'm hoping that ball doesn't go over the fence, because we might not see it until the 4th quarter. But it stayed in. Kate Green on the boundary.
Have you noticed that Donvale will this quarter and the first quarter, after that first quarter, have been flooding their defence line?
Yep, definitely right. It's Kate Green on the boundary. Great bit of insight there. Doing a great job there for us on ground level, as there's a tackle on the edge of 50. So just a couple steps in from the boundary line on this pavilion stand side. On the edge of 50, Taylor Dean's going to burst out the pack. Couldn't quite take the ball cleanly. He's going to be out through Van Oostewich. He's going to look to take on a player, weave through two and get a handball off, and she did just that. Taylor Dean now applying the pressure and tackling. It's going to be another ball up. Just over a minute to go in this third term, as the margin's at 12 points. No score in this quarter just yet for either team. The ball's bounced out. No one really wants it from Donvale, but Ella Rhodes says, I'll take it if you guys don't. The kick's going to be just a bit of a squib kick. Taylor Dean, handball out to Forbes, who gets it for 1v1 contest. Out on the wing, great mark and play on by Rhiannon Green, who's got to send it in. He's just off the knees of number 31, Marley Neal, next to the boundary line. It's going to be a ball up. So great individual win from Rhiannon Green, but couldn't quite get the mark inside 50, her teammate. So the ball's going to be tapped out towards Donvale's way. And another ball up. So 20 seconds to go.
Rhodes has been absolutely on fire all game.
She has. Very good point, Kate. As time is continuing to tick down, we're under 10 seconds to go now. They might not get the ball up in time, but if they can, a ruckman might need to pull out a bicycle kick to get this kick on.
That's the only way.
And it's going to be brought out through Van Oostewich, and that's going to be the 3/4 time siren. So no goal kickers in that term. The score remains Donvale 2-4-16, North Ringwood 4-4-28 at the 3/4 time break. Goal kickers are still for Donvale, Amelia Van Oostewich and Jess Crundle, with singles, North Ringwood singles to Jess Begg, Emily Walters, Eliza Wilson and Georgie Marsden. So 12 points to margin, as it was at halftime at 3/4 time.
Welcome back to the Deakin University match of the round. It is semi-final time, Division 1, second semi, and at 3/4 time with 1 quarter to play out here at H.E Parker Reserve. North Ringwood lead Donvale 4-4-28 to 2-4-16. 20 minutes to play in this contest. A spot in the grand final up for grabs. And Kate Green, we have you on the boundary.
Yeah, just a quick update on the umpire, Christy. Heathmont's trainer, John, is going to keep an eye on her. She's got a headache and a little dizzy, so they're just going to keep an eye on her. Tough thing is her sister's playing in the next game.
Is she meant to umpire the next game?
No, not that I'm aware of,
Okay.
but yeah, but I'll update you as soon as I find out that
Thanks,
as well.
Kate. Doing a great job down there at the boundary. And as we said, 2 goals in it, Chris, and I think Donvale might enter this final quarter with a bit of confidence, knowing that that is the scoring end, the right side of your screen, and the fact that they kept North Ringwood goalless in that quarter just gives them a real chance to come home strong.
Exactly right, and you feel that, as this game has gone on, it's edging closer and closer towards Donvale's favour, but then again, you look at this quarter, and if North Ringwood can keep the first and get it out to a 3-goal margin, well,
that
then
could be enough.
It's a long way back, so definitely all still to play for in this fourth quarter as we're just trying to get all the spectators and the fans off the field. Kate Green's on the boundary.
Oh, yes, I have Luke. He keeps forgetting he's the star at the quarter times. Luke, that was a very tough contested quarter between both of you. What's the message for the final quarter?
Just back ourselves. Like, we probably were kicking it to predictable spots, just sort of in the hole in the forward line. One thing we just have to do is not get sucked in. We don't want all our players in our back line, so yeah, hopefully the girls back themselves and come away with a win.
Thanks very much, Luke.
Thanks, Kate. And here's Power out in the midfield straight away. It's going to be cut off by North Ringwood. Forbes has a bit of work to do. Kicks it towards the middle of the ground. Cut off by Latino for the Magpies. And she'll send them into attack, looking for Van Utowicz. Out the back, they've got the numbers. They can run onto this one. Hartman going forward now. The handball cut off. Well done there by Higgins for the Saints. And this time, so in the ball and a free kick, Donvale, and at half forward, Van Utowicz.
Boundary.
Let's go. In fact, it's Tess Bauer. Let's go down to the boundary. Kate Green.
Just with Stephen. Stephen, that was a very evenly contested quarter, that third quarter. What's the message moving forward?
Yeah, so the message is we just wanted to restrict them that quarter, and we just wanted to stop their scoring. So we just got to go hard here. It's just got to be everything on the line and just try and get that ball through the goals, and yeah, we go from there. So it's just going to be a lot of open football, I reckon, from here.
Well, here's a big chance
very
for
much,
him.
Stephen.
Shot on goal now from Bradley towards the top of the square. They've still got plenty of numbers. They keep this ball alive. McCormack has been caught for holding the ball. So free kick North Ringwood. And before I give it back to you, Chris, we did have a bit of a scoreboard malfunction that at the second quarter they gave a point to North Ringwood instead of Donvale. So that's why it's now 2-4 to 4-4, not 2-3 to 4-5.
Exactly right. So great individual win from the North Ringwood defender down there to win the 3v1. Odds stacked against her as a mongrel kick goes outside of defensive 50 for North Ringwood. Looking for a handball target. Finally found Jess Begg, who shrugs one. Handballs it into space and picks it up herself. Now Forbes looks forward. Taylor Dean under the footy. Went back with the fly. Very courageous. It's high contact. It's going to be rewarded, Taylor Dean. 27, Emma Peake was the infringing players checking up on Dean as she went past. Great display of sportsmanship as we're going to have a ball up now. So about 70 metres out from North Ringwood's goal. Still yet to have a major kicked left of screen. Bursting out with a footy is going to be Jess Begg, who looks for a target inside. It's 3v3 contest down there. Wilson is around the footy, hits the deck. Can't quite pick it up, but gets up and tackles straight away. And that's holding the ball. Terrific second effort from Eliza Wilson. And we could have our first major of the day to the left of screen. So,
and Chris, even just a score is quite handy just to extend that to a 13-point lead.
Exactly right. Anything here makes it a 3-kick game. So we said
it also boosts confidence.
Exactly right, Kate, as the kick won't quite make the distance, but there's a pack underneath it, off Begg's hands, kick smothered. Few Donvale defenders back. It's going to be picked up by Dean. Oh, terrific goal-saving smother Oh, and it's off the... Oh, that's a big call by the umpire. So Dean burst out of the pack. Terrific smother by Donvale, about 5 metres out from their goal to save it. And then it almost looked like Dean tapped it in off the line, off the boot, but the call was touched. So that's a behind.
Yeah, that would be very interesting to have a look on the replay after the game. But umpire was in a much better position than we are, so still it's a handy point. And here comes Begg, finds some space, bursts away, puts towards the top of the square. Mark not taken. Wilson's there. She'll be able to come through and pick up the ball nicely. Puts it on the right boot towards goal. Bouncing ball eludes the goals. I thought that looked home. And it said it's just a minor score, but it pushes
in on that side.
Margin out to 14 points, Chris. 4-6-30 to 2-4-13.
That is right.
3.5 minutes played, final term.
So 14 points now. North Ringwood starting very positively. Just noticed Taylor Dean's been pushed a bit further up the field. So she'll be looking to have the impact. Very unlucky not to have a major just before. But the ball will be played on and booted outside Donvale's defensive 50s. There's a pack in this near side wing. Just in front of us up here at the pavilion.
Just quickly, stats, equal tackle, but more in North Ringwood's inside 50.
Righto, thank you for that. Kate Green on the boundary doing a great job as Tess Powers around the footy. Going to be brought to ground and tackled. So we have ball up about 60 metres out from the North Ringwood goal. Great tap out by number 14, Grace Hartman in the ruck. Really won that contest. Monica Latino on the right foot, looks for a teammate. It's through everyone's hands, out the back. Gonna be tackled. And we'll have another ball up. So we're just about halfway mark on this field is Jess Beck. Has hands on the footy, can't quite get it and burst away from Millie Van Oosterwich. Two players that have had a massive impact on how this game's played out. As we're 5 minutes into this fourth term. 14 points the margin in favour of North Ringwood. Taylor Dean with the footy wrapped up by Latino. So a string of ball ups just in the centre of the field here. As the rush go again, another big win from Hardman. She's going to tackle as well, follow up from her own work. There's a bit of a push and a shove after. Tilly Broadhurst wasn't thrilled with that tackle, but she did well enough to not give away a free kick.
Yeah, I was thinking it could have been pinged for a sling tackle.
Yep. And that's maybe what Broadhurst took offence to. But nevertheless, it's about our 5th or 6th ball up in a row in the centre of the field. No one able to burst away. That Forbes got a tug on the jumper. So she's got the free kick and she can go now. High kick in the direction. 2 North Ringwood players under it. Nearly spoiled each other, but Ireland comes away with it. And now bursting inside forward 50 for the Saints. Kick is deep. Dean's down there as a spare. Eliza Wilson's there too. Wilson hands on the footy. Kick on its way and it's straight to the right. So another behind for North Ringwood. And obviously Donvale would rather behind than goals, but all these scoring shots is pulling this semi-final further and further away from them. So the scoreboard reads Donvale 2-4-16, trailing North Ringwood 4-7-31. 15 points to margin as it's roosted out of defensive 50.
Well, it means they've got to be pretty much perfect from here, Chris, as they look to pick up through Crundle. She's well pressured by the Saints defender, or forward in fact, as they go forward now. And it's cut off by the Saints again. Inside 50 they go. Taylor Dean's under this one and can take the mark. Has player in front of her, but takes her time and will go back and have the set shot. We've played 7 minutes in this final term. The skipper has the ball in her hands and they lead by 15 points. Any goal would just about seal the deal and send North Ringwood to a grand final. Top of the goal square. No mark taken. Ball hits the deck. Who's going to run onto this one first? North Ringwood needing a goal to seal the deal. Donvale have to hold on here and repel this footy if they're any chance of winning this game.
If North Ringwood get a goal, I think that's really going to stake Donvale in the heart.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect them to kick 4 goals in very quick succession. 3's still manageable at this stage as they try and burst their way through this one. They're under a lot of pressure. Latino now moving back again, being held without it, so she'll earn herself a free kick. It's been in very important, and it's 25 metres. So I'm not sure what the...
I think it might have been descent, Ryan.
infringement over the mark. She stepped over the mark.
Okay, so works out okay for Donvale. Just clear some ground. Mark not taken. Keeping it in front of there, doing very nicely was Bradley. Spun around. The kick's a turnover. Forbes takes the mark for North Ringwood, and they're happy just to run some time off the clock as well, as much as they can, with 8 minutes played in this final term. In towards the middle of the ground, who can take a mark here. It's cut off. Well done by Crundle. Big tackle laid by Marston, and we're back in the middle with a ball up. 8.5 minutes played. 4-7-31 North Ringwood. 2-4-16 Donvale. Grand final spot on the line.
Ball up in the middle of the field. It's going to be offhand, spills to the wave. Latino is going to throw it on the right boot and try to take distance, but North Ringwood with about 4 spare defenders back there, and the one that took the intercept mark was Hum, who will look forward. Dean underneath the footy, got hands to it, tapped it to a teammate. As they go forward, looking for Ireland, couldn't quite take it cleanly, takes it now, and there's going to be a ball up. So Emma Redden was the one with another inside 50. I think I've counted 2 or 3 for her just in this quarter alone, so she's really having an impact on this game. As the Saints just look to take territory with the kick. Wilson's down there looking to get to a first. She'll do so. Looking to burst, staying in bounds. She has. Kick's going to go across the face of the goal. It was almost an impossible angle. Latino's there. Takes the ball in stride. Looks for a teammate.
Big mark.
Great mark from Ella Rhodes as she got bumped from behind. She's been massive all day today. But we just look for a chip kick inside. Great heads-up play. And North Ringwood with a mark about 45 metres out from their goal. The kick will probably be from 50.
I'd say Rhodes has been about the best on ground all day.
Couldn't definitely make a shout as Jess Begg's kick goes long. Dean got 2 hands on the footy. It's come out to Wilson though, got a handball off. Dean again looking to spin out of it. Tackled to ground. So Donvale with numbers around the footy. Yes, Ella Rhodes, as we've just heard from Kate Green on the boundary, has been massive today. So ball up, 20 yards out, 20 metres out, I should say, my apologies, from North Ringwood's goal. As they're still looking to bring it out of the pack. There was no tackle, so no call. There's a good tackle there from number 11, Georgie Marsden. And finally, the umpire will call for the ball. So we're still about 15 to 20 metres out from the Saints' goal. The goal here for North Ringwood, you'd think would all but seal it.
Free kick.
And there's a free kick going
Holding.
to North Ringwood.
There was
Holding
some
is the
holding.
call. You just heard from Kate Green on the boundary.
This
Oh,
is
no,
going to
in
kill Donvale.
In fact, is this Wilson who's taking the kick? I thought Ireland was about to have the shot.
Well, she originally had the ball in her hands, but I think it is Wilson. So pretty much dead in front. Man on the mark's about 15, 20 metres out. As this to almost seal the grand final berth. And it's through. North Ringwood kicked their 5th of the day.
Number 15, you're right, Wilson.
Number 15, Eliza Wilson with her 2nd major for the day. That takes her tally to 36 on the season. You wouldn't want the kick taken by anyone else in that scenario.
And Chris, that's 3 for 3 for
Of course
Ryan.
it is.
Oh, dear. Time to get my wallet out. Okay, so it's Donvale 2-4-16, trailing North Ringwood 5-7-37, minus 21 points as we near 12 minutes gone in this quarter, Ryan.
Well, it'd have to be almost unthinkable from here, from Donvale. North Ringwood, they've been challenged and they've responded. It's been an important 10 minutes for them in this final term to just about seal the game. Can Donvale have anything left in the tank to pull off an unlikely win from here?
Boundary.
Get a ball up inside 50 again.
I know you guys have probably noticed, but just Donvale just seems to be not as intense with their
Well,
game at the moment.
This might be their big chance. The kick inside 50. Hartman. It's going to be turned over, and the Saints are going to be running out of their back half through Lee. Kicking it into space on the wing. Maru can run onto this one. It might be Marsden to get there first. Pushed aside. And yeah, I think you're right, Kate, as we're going to get a ball up on that far side. Coming up to 13 minutes gone, final term. As we said, North Ringwood 5-7-37 to Donvale 2-4-16. Second semi-final here. And it looks like North Ringwood have one foot in the grand final.
Do we know what the result is for East Ringwood Park Orchard yet?
In fact, that game actually starts at 2:45. I was incorrect on that one, so we'll
no.
have to wait for later this afternoon to see who most likely Donvale will play in that prelim. North Ringwood pushing forward again. Can they get another one to really put the icing on the cake? Donvale defending nicely, looking for Nelligan. It's out into space here. North Ringwood will go forward once again. Forbes picks this one up towards the top of the square. Donvale might be able to run on this. It's not a nice bounce for the defender there. Ireland picks it up.
Good tackle.
And a good tackle from Peake. The ball just didn't bounce up for her. And it's inside 50 for North Ringwood. Tap down from Ireland. Dean puts it on the boot, smothered. And we might get another stoppage inside 50 for the Saints.
So we're about 20 metres out from the Saints goal. Margin stands at 21 as there's about 6 minutes left to play in this semi-final. As the ball is on the ground, no one really able to pick it up and burst away, and there's a push going the way of Donvale. So they'll look to bring it out of their defensive 50, and will do just that with a long kick to the edge. Bounces out the back of the pack. North Ringwood have numbers around the ball. And it's going to be ushered, I'd say, over the far side boundary line. So still in North Ringwood's forward half. We said that Donvale were working their way into this game, but really the key to this game has been pressure, and North Ringwood have stepped it up in this fourth quarter as the Rucks go at it. It's going to burst out the back of the pack. Footy on the ground, well wrapped up in the tackle there by number 20. That's Tilly Broadhurst, who's had a good game so far today. One of many for North Ringwood that have stepped up and made a big impact and really swung this game in their favour. And that's going to be another ball up, tackled by Amelia Van Oosterich, who with her sister Mia have also been big performers for Donvale. But Donvale, as it stands, only able to kick the 2 goals in the second quarter so far today. North Ringwood, we said at the start of the game, there are going to be ebbs and flows and momentum shifts, but really you need to be able to play well over the 4 quarters, and that's what North Ringwood have been able to done as we're under 5 minutes to go in this fourth quarter.
And Chris, we've seen in Division 1 the last 2 years, the side who has actually lost this second semi-final has responded in a prelim and then won the grand final. So still, it's not over for the Magpies.
Not at all, as North Ringwood look to go inside 50. The ball will drop. Bit of a pack forming around it. Oh, tip, took it away from the Donvale teammate. But ball's on the ground now. Footy still yet to be won. Can't quite burst out of it. I think it's Wilson in the tackle.
Boundary.
Boundary to Kate Green.
Kind of feel that Donvale really needs a goal just to give them some momentum going into the prelim next week.
Definitely right, Kate. Feel that this game is all but over as there's just over 3 minutes left, barring the miraculous. So really they need to put steps towards their next game, which will be that prelim at this stage. As Van Oosterich, that's Amelia, boots it out. Ella Rhodes again, absolutely outstanding today. We've talked how many times about the fact how North Ringwood were able to just rebound when the ball's cleared and Donvale can't take territory, and Rhodes has been an absolute pinnacle of that. As Taylor Dean's dragged down in a tackle, umpire says nothing doing, and we'll call holding the ball. So Dean possibly a bit hard done by, but she's still on the mark now. So we'll come out to the pavilion side wing. There's Bradley that takes the mark. 3 to go. Test Power looks forward for Donvale, which you haven't seen them get down there in a while. Ella Rhodes maybe lost the ball in the sun. Looked a bit unsure under that ball. It's going to come out through Butler, who just hoofs it forward. No one there to kick to. Ball bounce at right angles and go out of bounds. So North Ringwood will bring this ball in as there's just about 2.5 minutes between North Ringwood and a Division 1 grand final at this stage. It's going to go to Butler, who's picked it up after a fumble. Shot on goal from Donvale, but North Ringwood have the spare in the goal square.
We've just had all the answers today, Chris, and
they have definitely right. As they look to go out to the edge of 50, Ryan, take us through this last 2 minutes.
2 minutes to play, and North Ringwood will clear this one out. Here's Marston, who's been very good, started the game off with the first goal. Got the handball forward. Might be able to soccer it off the ground, her own ball. And towards a teammate there who picks it up nicely. Handball over the top to Wilson. Wrapped up in a tackle. Less than 2 minutes of play here at H.E Parker for the second semi-final. And North Ringwood are going to book themselves a spot in the grand final. It's a great story for the club. Going forward again. Trying to get a kick forward was Pongo. And wrapped up in another tackle on that far side for Donvale. They'll be now awaiting the result of Park Orchards and East Ringwood taking place this afternoon out at Sylvan Recreation Reserve to see who they will play next weekend. Ball comes out into space. Taylor Dean to run onto this one. The skipper for North Ringwood. Inside 50 can hit up a target. Bouncing footy. Still in front of Wilson. Doing well there. Might be able to get past two Magpies. She's caught in the tackle though. And we'll get a ball up inside 50 with a minute to play in this final quarter. Can they get one more just to put the extra icing on the cake? They're going to win this game. It's going to be a big finals win for them. Here's Forbes, shot towards the goal square, bouncing footy, and it's a free kick paid. North Ringwood's free kick. And it is going in the direction of Charlie Power, I believe. In fact, actually no. Won't be Power.
It was for a push.
Oh, Gilby.
Gilby will have the set shot to put the icing on the cake with less than 30 seconds to go here at H.E Parker Reserve. The kick on its way. We're right behind this one. It eases its way through. The perfect finish for a perfect day for North Ringwood. And they move to 6-7-43 to the Magpies 2-4-16. And the Saints are through to a grand final, Chris.
Well, like you said, perfect finish to the perfect day. North Ringwood, that's how we stand the pressure and weather the storm. But there's the final siren. Scoreboard reads in this second semi-final in Division 1. Donvale 2-4-16, defeated by North Ringwood 6-7-43. You can see the team huddle and celebration there from the Saints as they've booked their place in the Division 1 Grand Final and given themselves a chance at going up to Premier Division for the first time, is it, Ryan?
Yes, it would be if they do win in 2 weeks' time. So it's a big story for them. As you said, I mean, a fantastic performance. That first quarter was as good as you can, as good a footy as you can see, really. That was the difference in the end that got them out to that lead, and Donvale were always chasing after that. And even though they did just build a bit of confidence going into three-quarter time, keeping them scoreless in the third term, it's still not enough, and a bit to work for the Magpies. They'll be hoping to get a few players back. Tomato maybe one of them potentially in the next couple of weeks. You never know. And for North Ringwood, they get the weekend off. They'll probably be back here next Saturday, Chris, just to watch to see who they will play in the grand final, whether it'll be Donvale or whether or not they'll end up facing Park Orchards or East Ringwood. There's a lot going on down at ground level. We're picking up all the atmosphere from Kate Green and the mic down at ground level with the North Ringwood girls. I don't think she realises it's all coming up on air at the moment, picking up everything. But great scenes down at ground level. And Kate Green, we do have you, and you've got Jake Island with you. And we've got Jake here now. Jake, congratulations! A fantastic win from the girls. All started with that first quarter where you kicked the 4 goals and looked unbelievable, and it's just a great achievement for you and the club.
Yeah, I mean, we probably didn't make the adjustment straight away when they turned it second quarter, but yeah, I think the way that we responded in that last quarter was great. We knew they were going to come out hard, and but yeah, I think that we played our best footy in that last quarter, where sort of kicking uphill, but yeah, played really nice footy and gave ourselves plenty of opportunities at goal.
Has that made the win a little extra sweeter, knowing that you were challenged big time and going into that third term? Donvale were going down to the scoring end of the ground, and instead you were able to keep them scoreless and kick a couple of goals yourself. Yeah, definitely a bit of a test. Like, we didn't, it was just good for our confidence in a couple of weeks when we know that we're obviously going to have 2 quarters going up the hill, but to be able to score pretty nicely in that last quarter gives us the confidence, that we can score freely every quarter, I suppose. So yeah, it's just good lessons to be learned for a couple of weeks' time.
And you mentioned pre-game that, you know, was really a key focus for your team to kick out to a good lead and really challenge Donvale to try and keep up with you. How impressed are you and happy are you that was able to come to fruition?
Yeah, I think, you know, we pride ourselves on our ability to kick lots of goals, and we didn't kick the most goals that we could have kicked today, but I think going forward, you know, we show that we can kick at least, you know, 2 or 3 goals a quarter, and even that first quarter we kicked 4. So our scoring power is definitely something that we pride ourselves on, and yeah, I think in a couple of weeks we just got to make sure we put that on show.
Well, Jake, the team is through to the grand final. Enjoy the win, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you very much. See you then.
Senior coach there of the North Ringwood Football Club, Jake Ireland, and they are through to a grand final. And great scenes down at ground level. The girls very excited with the win, and as they should be. They are booking themselves a spot in the grand final. I believe they won their last grand final in 2019, I think, before the COVID interrupted couple of years in 2020 and 21.
I think you're spot on with that, Ryan.
As always, Kate.
Hey, but didn't Chris and I agree that if you got too many spots on that you had to buy us drinks?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. But as you can see right now, the girls coming off the field, going through to a grand final, the Saints. And that's pretty much all she wrote for us down here at H.E Parker Reserve. If you're in the area, get down to the ground though, because we've got 2 massive Premier Division finals to be held. So I might hang around and watch this big final between South Croydon and the Eastern Devils about to get underway here. But for us, our votes, Kate, I'll throw it down to you first if putting you on the spot, but you're 3-2-1 on today's
Okay,
game.
three votes, got to be Ella Rhodes. You know, just outstanding, all consistent tackling, getting things down. 2 would be a toss-up, Taylor Dean, and I think really quiet work by Tyrrell down the back. I mean,
Yep.
she saved so many situations where Donvale could have converted. So yeah, 1 to Tyrrell, 2 to Dean, and definitely 3 to Rhodes.
And of course, thank you, Kate, for your work on the boundary. You'll be back next week as well for the preliminary final.
I'm
Looking
off
forward to
to
it.
junior grand finals now.
Junior grand final, so you've got to run pretty quickly. Chris, Curtis, you're 3-2-1.
Yep, well, I've gone 3 to Ella Rhodes, like we said, absolutely massive down the back. I've gone 2 to Taylor Dan. I think a real good captain's performance from her today. And 1, even despite the loss to Amelia Van Oosterwish. She was
You've
just
read
massive
my mind,
for
mate.
Donvale.
That is my exact 3-2-1 as well. Great to have you on board for the women's finals. Hopefully we'll get to see you again. But thank you for joining us.
Beautiful, mate. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's been a great performance from the North Ringwood Football Club as they book themselves a spot in the grand final out here at H.E Parker in 2 weeks' time. And also a big thanks to Josh, who stepped in at late notice to run the camera today in absence of Megan Green, who's out at the junior finals. Done a great job. Thanks for joining us today for the Deakin University Match of the Round. We'll see you next week for the preliminary final out here at H.E Parker.